Welcome to the Wexford Football League Show. Welcome to the Wexford Football League Show. Tonight we don't have Aidan Brown with us. He had a tough week this week, I think, voting for a few things going on, and then He's under a small bit of pressure, but we got the great Padraig Whitty with us instead.
Yeah, thanks, Nicky.
It's either that or maybe the bane of some people's lives. Are you, Padraig?
I don't know. I try to help. I do my best, but sometimes you can't keep everyone happy, unfortunately.
Sure, look. Padraig was with us tonight, so we're going to have a little bit of a chat about obviously the Wexford League and about maybe the Leinster Junior Cup coming up. But first of all, we're probably going to start out with asking anybody if they have any questions or anything like that they want to fire into the show. We have Padraig here tonight. He's the man with all the answers at the minute. We're hoping anyway, so we'll try
some answers, Nick.
We'll try and answer as many questions as we can if we can get a few in.
Yeah.
But I suppose we'll start off with the growth of the league, Padraig.
Yeah. It's obviously our season started last weekend. We're happy to be back, and we've seen an increase in the teams that we have in all our grades, like in the adult league, the 19s league, and the youth league, Nicky. So we're up I think 5 teams or 4 teams in the men's league. So Division 5 is going to operate a little bit differently this year because we ended up with 14 teams for it, which is kind of a number kind of in the middle, because 14 is quite big for one league, obviously, for one division. 7 and 7 or 8 and 6 are too little, and teams don't really want to play each other 3 or 4 times in a season. So we're operating a new system. We're going to trial it, see how it goes. So everybody will play each other once, the 14 teams. After that happens, then the league will break into 2. The top 7 will remain as Division 5. The bottom 7 will go ahead as Division 5A, and every team will come out of it with 19 games, which is a good number, so you're getting plenty of football. So we're going to see how it goes, something different. And the 19s league is going to operate the same way. We had 6 teams in it last year. We've gone to 10 this year for 19s league. So we're still kind of working on it. It's growing bit by bit, and look at it's popular for the teams that are in it. They're really enjoying it. It's a good kind of bridge, as we've mentioned before, that transition between men's football and 19s football, between youths and men's football. And look, we could have had maybe more teams, but some teams have enough players now playing men's, and it's at the end of the day we're here to promote and facilitate people playing football. So it's great to see. So that'll do the same. 10 teams, everybody play each other once, and then it'll split into 2 divisions and they play each other second time.
Yeah, and I look at it. I think the 19s competition it's a great competition. I love seeing lads out Saturday, Sunday. At that age, 17, 18, 19, you should be well able to play 2 games in the 2 days. I know some people disagree with, but Jesus,
it's all about striking a balance, though, I suppose.
Look, it is, but I know at that age you'd love to be just out playing.
Yeah, and look, like you and myself were at games last year in the 19s league. It was a very high standard of football.
Yeah,
it's really going to help players going into men's football, into Division 1, Division 2, Premier Division, some of them. I mean, you were at that game. It was Rovers and North End, very good game of football. 2 really good teams.
Yeah.
Cup final, New Ross Town won. New Ross Town beat Rovers, and then North End in the final to win it. And they were a good team. They were a tough bet. So look, that's going to help those guys. Going forward, and really good level of football. So hopefully we'll see the same again this year.
Yeah, definitely. So the 19s league has grown. Obviously, the overall junior league has grown this year. What about the youths?
The youths, see a big increase in youth teams this year as well. We have an extra division, so we've 6 divisions in total in youths. We've Premier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and last year we had a division full of B teams. This year we have a division with it's probably half B teams and half just clubs first teams, I suppose. So yeah, a steady growth there as well, and that's what we want to see. And again, it's just great to have people playing football, and look at yeah, it's just good.
When's the youth league starting?
Youth league started last week.
Started last
19s league is starting this Saturday.
Sorry, that's when's the 19s. That's this weekend.
19s is starting this weekend. We'll get to that in a bit. And youth started last week. Some very good games. I was at one of them there for a part of the time in it, for the second half. Fort Celtic and New Ross Town, and a really good game. Lots of good players on show. So, hopefully we'll see some of them. We're starting our trials for the county youth team Tuesday next week. The club's got a notification there, so it's at 8 o'clock on Wexford CBS, and the clubs are sent to Gertrude or myself an email with details for the players. So we'd hope that they'd send players that they feel are up to that standard forward, because there's going to be a very strong youth team in Wexford this year.
You're back in as manager.
Yeah.
So for your sins, yeah. Who's coming in to help you?
Look, I kind of was still working on that a small bit, but I have a goalkeeping coach, young Nathan Roach is his name. He was in with us before. Tommy and Davy Byrne will be there, and just still finalising one or two things. The last couple of years we've had Owen McDonald, so we'll see kind of his time commitment, what he can do.
Yeah,
Owen's doing a lot with League of Ireland now. Very good coach. And then we've Derek Harvey is the name of our fitness coach, and he just does a bit of conditioning with them and stuff. And look, something like that. And yeah, we'll see how we're going. We're still just kind of finalising. Just for Tuesday, we'll be good to go. So, and
looking further into that competition, the youths, is it going to be similar layout last year, or have you been told that there's any difference?
Yeah, they're going to go with it. They're trialling it for 2 years. So, look, what happened last year was very frustrating for us, because we had quite a good team as well. They did it as a provincial competition. So in Ulster, you had 2 teams, the Inishowen and Donegal. In Connacht, I think there was 3 or 4 teams. Galway came out of that. In Munster, they had a great competition, because I was chatting to some of the lads from Cork and Waterford. I know them through the years now. They had 5 teams. They all played each other. They played a good series of games, kind of like the adult Padraig Whitty Cup. Then there was a semi-final and a final, and Waterford came second, say, in the league format, but beat Cork in the final to win it. And we ended up, there was ourselves, the DDSL, Kilkenny were in it, the combined counties were in it, and Carlow were in it, and once the DDSL were in it, unfortunately, it ended up just being ourselves in the DDSL, so we had to play them in a 2-legged final, and we got silver medals.
We'll move on.
Well, look, in fairness, the second day we played them, we put in a great showing.
I actually think Mick Larkin was right. You should have been sacked.
You should have been, yeah. But we put in a great showing then in Ferry Carrigan. We had a really good squad, a really good performance from them the second night especially. And look, the first night we played them on an AstroTurf up there, and they were a fine team. And the team that they had that played us, they lost 3 of them. Two of them are actually currently in the Ireland under-19 squad. They've moved to League of Ireland and straight to that level. And they won the rest of that competition. I think they beat Waterford 3 or 4-0 in the semi-final. They beat Galway, I think 5 or 6-0 in the final.
So you're hoping to go one better this year anyway? And
hopefully. And look, what we'd like to see is, Wicklow, Carlow, Kilkenny, ourselves, Kildare, DDSL, a lot of leagues in Leinster entering it, because it's a good competition historically, and as you know, and I think for a league like our own, play DDSL and the kind of power they have, you need a series of games. You need to build yourselves up, and anytime we have played Carlow or Kilkenny or any of those counties across the years, Wicklow, they've had excellent teams as well. A lot of good footballers in them, as you know, so, and hopefully we see them, and yeah, we'll see. I think the entry forms went down today, so that Peter Doyle will be looking after that for Leinster anyway, and we'll see how it goes over the coming weeks, I suppose. But we're starting out next week, and we'll do our kind of our process, and we'll be coaching guys for the duration of the competition, and looking forward to it.
Yeah. So obviously managing the youths is one part of the job that you have for the Wexford Football League. The other part is putting out fixtures week in, week out. Are you glad to see the season back, or how has it been going? Or
Yeah, yeah.
maybe you could give people a bit of a detail and what it's like, or what detail you have to get into to do it.
Yeah, well, look at obviously I'm in it a couple of years now, and I like to work with clubs and like find solutions that we can get our teams out and put forward a really good league. And look at it's grown in numbers, and I think it's grown in quality as well. And I think that's fairly widely kind of recognised. You see how well all of the Wexford teams are doing in the outside competitions. I mean, there was a Wexford team in almost every final last year of the outside, like FAI Junior final,
Yeah.
Leinster final, won the Shield, Youth semi final. I think Bunclody were in the 19s semi final. So the performance, like our Oscar trainer team, of course, won the Pat Whitty Leinster Provincial Cup, and like the performances of the teams is good, the quality is growing. I'm just trying to facilitate teams with games. I think, like we've touched on it before, for me, like where Wexford needs to improve, or what we hope to see is like better facilities. We have excellent facilities, don't get me wrong. I mean, in terms of all weather pitches, and they're coming, clubs are doing great work, floodlights on pitches, and then maybe we can start looking at running our leagues alternately, and maybe bringing in Friday night football if clubs want to go for it, Saturday night football. And we have it in the CBS, and we've seen a little bit of it now, and it's very popular. Teams love it. Get big crowds at games. Kind of gives lads a bit more freedom at the weekend then as well. It's rather than playing towards the end of the weekend. So look, at my role is to try, I suppose, facilitate that. I put the fixtures on. Obviously it's all done through FAI Connect now. That's made my life a lot easier. It's just such a good system. It's really organised. I set the fixture, like I put the teams into the leagues, into the divisions, set it up online. It creates a fixture program for me. Then obviously teams can apply for the free days and things like that. They're all well aware of that. I set the fixtures, point to referees. Referees get an email. As soon as I hit that, referees get an email to confirm the game. Clubs get an email to let them know the game's on. If I change the time by 5 minutes, they'll get another email. It's great communication with all of the clubs and stuff like that. So I suppose that's the gist of what I'm doing. And then sit down and listen to you on a Monday night in a meeting at Ferry Carrick as well.
I know some of the clubs have been maybe complaining trying to get players registered. It is a bit of a subject we have to touch on.
Yeah, look,
there's
there's
kind of out of the league's hands. It's more of an FAI problem at the minute.
A couple of years ago, the FAI took control of registrations, and I think that was actually because of something that came from UEFA. I think the old system that they had, like UEFA was looking for how numbers playing in each country, and so the FAI kind of took control of the registration so they'd have that data, I suppose. Look, this is the world we're moving into and living in now anyway.
Data driven.
IT and data and statistics and things like that. And look at, we have a lot of people playing football across the country, in junior football, all levels of football, but the FAI took control of that, and then like they've all gone to this system, and a lot of leagues are starting at the same time. Last year there was maybe 80% of the leagues in the country on FAI Connect, or this year there's more, and they're all trying to get it because look, it's working well. It's popular with clubs. The app is great. You're able to look. You can be away on holidays. You can be wherever. You can see how games are going and stuff like that. I mean,
in fairness, I love the app of a Sunday morning. I was up watching a game Sunday, but I was able to tap into every, and I would genuinely say to clubs, if you can get somebody to run your app of a match day, do
add commentary. Fort Celtic too. Enniscorthy United did a little bit of it.
But it just really adds to it, and like there's loads of people out there that do click into it and then and check over on it.
Yeah, that's a lot. But with the registrations, just so like it is I obviously have a group of people I'm working with all the clubs, and like it can be a frustrating process because there's steps involved. But with the FAI, their side of it is there's a small number of people now. I think they had a meeting this week and have taken on more staff now. So hopefully it'll be processed sooner because there's a certain number of staff and they're processing over 100,000 registrations at the minute and transfers and things like that. And all the steps have to be correct. So it's a time consuming thing. And then there's like just a bottleneck because all the leagues are starting at the same time. Everybody's hoping to get their players out for games. So look, at hopefully it'll be something that'll be resolved and not be an issue going forward. But
so you're washing your hands of it?
No. Look, as the clubs know, I'm doing what I can with them, and look, I understand their frustrations and stuff. But yeah, look, at this is the system that we have in place, and you have to do this to be registered. And
that's it. Yeah. You touched just you mentioned referees a second ago. I know you had a meeting with the assessors this evening and things like that. We've a couple of new referees coming in. How are we fixed for referees this year?
Yeah, look, we're always tight. We were tight last week and this week, kind of with numbers, because referees are human beings, and like we have a certain amount of referees, but they might not be available every weekend. Our league is growing. We've the second biggest league in the country, and we have a lot of referees in comparison to other counties. A lot of referees will referee 2 games on a Sunday. Everybody's kind of good with the system. So we have new referees. They'll be starting next week. Looking forward to getting chatting to them, getting going. Hopefully, they'll really enjoy it and stick to it, because as we kind of had a quick chat earlier on, it's you start out refereeing. You have to referee in schoolboys for a year and do your NQR, your newly qualified registration, whatever it is, and then you can make the step up after assessments and stuff. So it's like about a year and a half into your refereeing career, maybe you can step up into adult football. Adult football, as you and I know, is very different. It presents its own challenges that you mightn't get in schoolboys and stuff.
Shouting and roaring at you.
Aiden is one of them. We know another one. But look, yeah, and look at it. It's great, and they're very welcome to the Wexford League, and hopefully they'll stick at it. And look at we have an increase in referees, and look, in fairness, in Wexford we have a really strong referees branch. You know what I mean? And I think that's well known across the country. There's a lot of lads there do great work. There's too many of them to be kind of just rattling them off. But hopefully they're good, like, and they're tight knit. And
hopefully they'll come in over the next couple of weeks. I was talking to Seamus, who's the chairman. So Seamus said he'll definitely have a chat. Well,
look, you had him in last year. It was a good show, So, absolutely.
So we see, can we move on? There's a couple of little rule changes this year. So they came in from UEFA, didn't it? It's not just our own.
Yeah.
So on it, they've been passed in.
Yeah, so I suppose we had a ruling that we brought in. It came from the clubs, didn't it?
With the players.
With the squad numbers, and actually, that's something we just want to make people aware of, that you can actually select up to 20 players in your matchday squad now, not 18. So you can have 9 subs. You can still only bring on to 5, but you can have 9 substitutes. So it might make things easier for some lads on a Sunday. And if you're lucky enough to have 20, you can have 20 in your matchday squad. And then there's a new rule brought in by UEFA as well, that teams are to have a captain's armband for your captain, and that the captain is the player to talk to the referee.
This was brought in for the Euros at the start of the Euros, isn't it? So a referee now is entitled to book any player that's not wearing the captain's armband if they're go to speak
talking to him.
So it's genuine. I suppose they're trying to go down the route of the
like
rugby and
rugby,
just
I
have one person done. So. Yeah. And that's why the captain's armband is important, obviously. So
and look, it's worth looking at. You can identify who the captain is on the app and stuff as well, with their number and things. So, but it's definitely something worth looking into. Do you know what I mean? Because I suppose that's the side of the game that you don't like to see, with people up in the referee's ears or in their face, because it's not an easy job either, to be fair to the referees, So
no, it's not.
Fair play to them. But look, you understand frustrations when it's sport and stuff, and you're putting it all in there. But that's one of the new rules. I don't think there's any other ones though, is there?
No, I think that was the basic one, wasn't there? Just a couple other little bits and pieces, but they were the 2 more standout kind of things that we picked up after the weekend just gone out. Yeah. So I suppose we better head into the nitty gritty. We had a fixture, I wouldn't say a full fixture list last week. A lot of free Sundays, free weekends put in. So we'll touch on the games that did go ahead.
A lot of weddings last weekend, I think. Was there?
Oh, was there?
Look, there was a few. And for whatever reason, there was games called off as well because of a bereavement. So, and there was a few free fixtures taken. So there was only 2 games in the Premier Division, which is unusual. The LFA and the FAI fixtures, they're kind of set in stone this year, aren't they? They are, and that's something actually. Well, clubs have been made aware of it, but basically, if you take a free weekend and it coincides with the Leinster Junior Cup or FAI Cup, Junior Cup, you're not granted it. You're not entitled to it, or you can give a walkover. Basically, I think. Well,
and they're picking certain weekends. That's the fixture weekend for them.
They have distributed that to all the clubs now. I have it somewhere, but. That's the full list for the whole season, or right up until May for the finals of them all. They're scheduled for the weekends. They're set. Everybody has that information, and that's that. Yeah.
And are we going to schedule our finals earlier this year? Not playing wise, but once we get the League of Ireland fixtures?
Of
Are
course we will.
we
Nicky, yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
sit
yeah,
down? Are
yeah.
we?
We had a blip last year, but we'll be back on track this year. It'll be fine.
So I suppose we'll head to the results. You have the
Yeah.
results there in front of you.
So I'll go through them with you there. So we've Fort Celtic Premier Division. Fort Celtic beat New Ross Celtic their first time back in the Premier Division in just a while, Nicky.
Jesus, 7 or 8 years easily, I'd say.
Yeah, 5 or 6 at least anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
And 3-0 to Fort Celtic. But look, Fort Celtic have added a few players. They're a strong team. They're the cup champions. So it was a tough test for New Ross in their first out and back.
Yeah, definitely tough. I see James made a couple of changes. I was surprised to see Danielis on the line, even though I know the Grassy chap. It's his surname.
Kuba, yeah,
he's good. He's a good goalkeeper. But still, I was surprised going back up to the Premier. See Danny dropped.
Yeah.
Dunny not playing either. Dunny O'Connor. It was a big loss to Ross. I think he's going to Australia, or somebody was saying. Ricky Fox has a fractured bone in his leg. Another one.
A lot of injuries, I think. Donica's cousin Anthony is the other centre back who's out injured at the minute as well. He fractured his elbow or something, and Adam Sinnott was missing as well as a player played County Youths a couple years ago.
That was who I was trying to think of last weekend.
To call him Chubby.
Chubby.
A really nice player. Yeah, so he's a big loss. He had a really good showing in the Neil O'Sullivan Cup final, didn't he? Good player.
Yeah. But for us, it was always going to be tough coming up against Fort Celtic.
Yeah.
I know they're missing a couple of lads there. What's his name? Ryan Busher was suspended, and but like they have Kieran Carty, that Evan Farrell coming in. And from what I hear, Sean Cameron was excellent centre half.
Yeah, Sean's a player with a lot of experience. Really good player. Yeah,
we actually spoke about him last week. I think he's a really good fit for him.
Yeah.
Even though he's the wrong side of 30, he's a good fit on it.
Yeah, good. But like Fort Celtic are probably a young team, so he probably has a level of experience that'll help
Patsy
him.
Malone, a bit later, would you call him young?
Patsy. But I think Patsy and Sean probably came through together. Like they're probably. You know, so yeah, but Fort Celtic have added a few players and look, they've started strong. It's a good win for them. So you know, Adam Beery obviously made a big impact last year. A great showing in the cup final, and like Evan Farrell is a really talented young player. Kieran Carty is a good player, really good player. So
for me, Evan has to really knuckle down now and show what he's been League of Ireland for a long time. Came back. I thought he done really well last year in the North End team. So it's interesting seeing now he's
a talented player.
Fort Celtic,
I had him in school, but like Fort Celtic is the club he started out at.
Yeah, so
they're a club on the up as well, and he'll go well there. He's a good footballer. Do you know what I mean? And he can play pretty much any position, Evan. You know.
Yeah. So
people probably don't realise that about him. I think he's played at centre half. He's played as a wing back, all over. You know, and he's just a good footballer, and he's got a great attitude as well, so I'm sure he'll go well there, you know.
Yeah.
And then we had North End beating Ferns 4-1.
Yeah, that was close enough for a while.
You had that one?
No, I wasn't. No. I was at Ajax and St. Joseph's.
Okay, yeah.
But no, that one was that was close enough. No, in fairness, from what
Ferns took the lead, didn't they?
Yeah. No, it was 1-1, wasn't it? I think North End.
I'm not sure. Front,
I was when I checked the app, it was 1-1. So But I was talking to Mikey Dempsey on Sunday afternoon, and he was just saying the Ferns are really young. They'd no Ryan Nolan.
They've lost Kieran Murphy.
Yeah, and sure they hadn't got Mikey was away either. His daughter Eva was playing in the county football final. So he was gone to that. So from what I hear, Ferns put up a really good showing for themselves, even though the end result didn't. But North End do that to teams. You could be right in a game with North End in the 85th minute and come off the pitch 4-1 down.
They have a lot of goal scorers in the team.
They have, and look, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure Gary and I think Kyle was down there the weekend. They were just happy to get the 3 points and get up and going, and trying to build a momentum. Yeah,
well, look, Ferns have been a solid Premier Division team now for a couple of years, and they've been doing well under their new management, and we wish them well. And look, it's a good win for North End to get them started, and they're the first 2 Premier games we've had, and we'll get to the fixtures later. I suppose Division 1, we'll start with Coretown, Hibs and North End United. I think it was an injury time goal for North End to win 1-0.
A late winner for North End, but I expect North End to go well in that division this year. They've 2 Alan Colgate and what's his name?
Craig.
Maguire.
Maguire.
Over. So the two of them are good football lads. So I'd expect them to go to to go well again. But it was a big win.
Yeah.
I think it's a big win.
Courtown are a good team too.
I think it's a big season for Courtown.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's a big season for him.
Yeah. And we had Shelburne and Campoyle both with new managers, and Shelburne coming out with a 2-0 win. I think Shelburne maybe went under the radar for a lot of your predictions last week, did they?
Yeah, I suppose you would have fancied Campoyle coming down out of the Premier, but as I know from a couple of cup games going down to Shelburne, you never get it easy down there.
You don't. Shelburne are always a tough team. Yeah, so, good team as well. Good players in it. So
and Chris Connick is over the team down there. So
you know what he's doing.
Yeah. So look at a good win for Shelburne.
Yeah. And look, Campoyle I believe are a very young team, so I'm sure they'll bounce back around. And then the game you were at, then Ajax Athletic 1, St Joseph's 2. You can tell us your thoughts on that.
In fairness, it was a decent enough game. St Joseph went into a 1-0 lead. The two chaps out on the wings, their both names escape me now, but the two lads out on the wings were really, really lively to start the game. And look, I probably thought the first half St Joseph's were definitely the stronger team.
Yeah.
In fairness to Chubby, Niall Tarp, he scored direct from a corner. And great. No, he definitely had his eyes closed when he was kicking the corner. I was surprised Chubby even reached the goal. Never mind scored, but it was a great corner. And Ajax kind of dominated for a little bit then. And in fairness, it was like North End St Joseph's lads counter attack last minute of the game, and they grabbed a 2-1 win. So it was disappointing for Ajax. I'm sure they would have probably just took a draw out of that game to get themselves settled. St Joseph's lads were delighted.
Yeah.
But that St Joseph's boys won't be
two
easy.
New teams in new divisions this season.
They won't be easy to be beaten this year.
Yeah, no, Joseph's that Joseph's team is probably a core of them are a lot of young players that came up together and were they won or just after COVID or summer season that we had in the 19s, and there's some good young players in it, and look, they're on the up. That's a back-to-back promotions, I think, to get them into this division.
And Ajax should get stronger as well. They're waiting on a couple of good players for their transfers to be put through. So once they come through, they'll be.
I always think Division 1 though in general is just the hardest division to call. Whatever it is, it's most competitive games it has to be, because from first to 11 there's so little. Any team can beat anybody. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think we'll see lots of surprises in that division the whole way through the season. Division 2 then, they're good again. We start two teams in new divisions. Bridge Rovers beating Camolan Celtic 3-0. Wexford Bows.
I think Camolan might struggle a bit this year. From what I hear a lot of players have gone into Gorey from Camolan. There's quite a few, so it might be a bit of a difficult season for Camolan. Might be a
change, but then Camolan
had a couple of great years.
Yeah, they've a good underage team coming up. They're in the Youth Premier Division. For smaller clubs it's always more difficult if you're losing players and stuff. So look, hopefully they'll find their balance. Bridge Rovers are coming down from Division 1 though as well. It's a big jump for Camolan to be playing in Division 3, to be playing a team that was in Division 1 last year. So and away from home as well. And I think Bridge Rovers got late goals in that as well though. So
and don't forget Bridge were up around the top half of the table until after Christmas last year.
They were winning after 5 weeks anyway.
So they were they kind of fell off a cliff towards the end of the season.
Yeah, there's some good players there. Then we've Wexford Bows, second team. There was actually the official curtain raiser kicked off Thursday night last week. They beat Curracloe United 6-0. Wexford Bows, it's going to be an interesting season for them.
Yeah, well, Fran is in for a bit of a tough job with the Premier, and just getting a blend now and getting everything when a player like Todd Hines leaves to go to another club, it can leave a bit of a cloud behind you. So it's up to the rest of the Bows lads now to knuckle down and get them, because they're a great club. Yeah, they are.
There's great players there as well. Like Jeremy Flood and them are still there. But look, that's their main team. But their B team are off to a flyer. I think a new manager there in Sean Palin. Kind of a well-known character. Ballymurn.
Well, I tell you, if they win the league, there'll be a seriously party with Sean Palin involved with him anyway. That's for sure.
I don't know. Yeah, surely. Ballymurn Celtic into Division 2 and picking up where they've left off the last couple of seasons. they've been flying high. They beat Clabon 5-1.
Yeah, Bill Pear, he's a liar. He telling me the other day that they were struggling to get 11 and they went out and hammered Clabon. So,
Yeah.
in fairness to Bill and the likes of Jamie and Sean Walsh and all them lads, are young lads. And I think Ballymoral will go well. They're a good bunch of lads
Yeah, they're
there.
good, and they're a young team. I think
a
they'll
lot
keep
of them at a
going.
nice age.
Yeah, I was talking to a fella there on Sunday, and he was explaining to me that Snowy has retired. He hung up the boots after the double, and
I wouldn't believe it.
yeah, he's done.
Aye.
So he's been a stalwart to that club.
Yeah,
in fairness,
definitely has. Well, I was talking to the Denny Carty
Yeah.
on Sunday afternoon, and Denny was saying to me that he went out to the Ballymoral game and he was very, very impressed with their patterns of play and how quick they were moving the ball for a Division 2 side.
They're a club doing it all right, you know. And look, I'm sure Clabon will pick up as well as the season goes on. So a lot of football still to be played there. And Enniscorthy United then with a 2-1 win over Fort Celtic.
I got up to see a bit of that game as well. Actually, yeah, very competitive game. I was surprised how young Fort Celtic were, to be honest with you. I thought they had a couple of older heads in it, but yeah, good game. In fairness to Enniscorthy United, they're a club that I would respect. You know, like they never cause any problem or anything like that. They have 3 teams to fulfill the fixtures. They get. They get a lot of football played up there.
They sure do, and they put up. They're great for on social media, putting up match reports of every game and stuff. You know.
No, in fairness to them, yeah. So look, it was a decent enough game. The 2 teams were quite level. That Division 2 could be close enough as well.
It will be this year. I think some of those divisions are still finding their feet after. Just change in the last couple of years. Fort Celtic, I think the new management team in Division 2 was over them 2 years ago when they won the Youth Premier Division. So
Harry Duggan and them, I think,
Mark Roach and Greg Mullen.
Greg Mullen, sorry.
Yeah, and probably a lot of that Fort Celtic B team is like last year's 19s, the youths from the year before. So there will be a young team, I'd say, but like they're well able to play. I think the older guys are kind of with C team, you know. Yeah, and Division 3 then we had Bree United with a 3-1 win over Wexford Celtic. Bunclody, Shamrock Rovers in a 2-2 draw. Duncannon beat St Leonard's 3-0. That'll be a local derby down there. Killeen Wanderers 1, New Ross Town 3. I see Killeen Thomas scored a hat-trick. And Gorey Celtic and Adamstown playing out a thriller, a 4-3 win to Adamstown. I believe a late winner, an injury time winner in that one as well on the app. So plenty of excitement there.
Yeah, loads of it, yeah. I look at from Division 3 down, it's hard to predict who's going to be where for the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Have to see where they bed down and what players are going with first teams and second teams and whatever. So
they sort of find their feet then as it goes on. Yeah. Division 3A, Crossabeg and Blackwater playing a 2-2 draw. Rosslare Strand beating Feathered Rangers 6-2. Huge win for them. Big start to the season. Glenbarrentown second team beat Enniscorthy United 4-0, and Ferns United, who are new in that division as well, to beat Enniscorthy Town 5-0. So, some big results there anyway, wasn't there?
Some
big wins and a draw.
Big wins. Ferns up decent.
Across a big Blackwater was the draw now. That would be a local derby too, of course, I suppose. To be well known to each other. Ferns, with a big win to start the season. Some big scores there. Division 4, Cushinstown beating New Ross Celtic second team 7-2. A huge win there. St Cormac's beating Fort Celtic 3-1. That's Fort Celtic C team. The Balloch beating Camolan 4-1. Kilteely, Shelburne, Kilteely winning 3-0 there. Cairn and Curracloe in a 1-1 draw. So, any surprises there?
No, I think Kilteely could be stronger than what they were last year. John Nugent gone in there. He's a great man to sign a player. So they look like they could be maybe, I won't say dark horses, but I know they're after getting
it's too early to call though.
No,
you have to wait
way
a few
too
games.
Early, but when he's
you just never know.
He's either signing an Oscar Traynor goalkeeper and Ben Nugent, know, and
to play up front.
So Ben will be stuck up front this year. So I had a quick look at the picture, and there's quite a lot of lads in it that are decent footballers that after getting.
Very good. Division 4A then we had Ross Birkin with a 3-2 win over Ferns. Campile lost out to Fastnet Rovers 3-1. Bridge Rovers beating Gorey Celtic 3-0. Kilmore with a big 5-1 win over St Joseph's, and Wexford Bows beating Came United 3-1. Any shocks there? Or?
No, I know Richie Walsh, Fastnet. got promoted last year, so I'm damn sure Richie will want to build on that. He said they were very, very young squad last year, so obviously they're going to be still young again this year.
Yeah.
So, and I think they signed a couple of older heads as well from
To mix
the
in
likes
with
of
them,
Cairn and things like that.
Campoil's B team is always a solid team too,
yeah,
you know. And look
definitely.
we were tipped off this evening as well that Ross Burke United are certain to rise this season.
Boys
I think,
here,
isn't it? Yeah.
Rocket Science Media tipping Ross Burken to
They're back.
They're back.
Division 5 then. Plenty of games in this division all year now. We'd All Blacks and Timon United with a 1-1 draw. Tombrack United, Shamrock Rovers with a 3-3 draw. Rathnure beating Adamstown 7-2. I think Castle Dockrell beat Bree 8-0. Castle Dockrell and New Park have combined as one club, so it's Castle Dockrell New Park United. They'll have to work on that.
Yeah.
Wexford Celtic were beaten 5-0 by Camolan to kick off Division 5. So plenty of goals in that division, which there always is.
Yeah. It looks like Aidan is a year late with his prediction. He predicted Castle Dockrell to win the league last year.
Yeah,
and
I see Chris Atkinson was playing.
Yeah, sure. Look, if they continue to be beating teams 8-0.
Yeah, and look at they had a lot of
hard stop.
They had a lot of last year's county youth squad, and there's some really good players there. So if they start playing, like, you know, they'll be hard to handle in Division 5. They'll be hard to handle in a lot of divisions now, to be fair to them.
Yeah.
That's the story with all of them. We had our youth games then. In the Premier Division, we had North End beat Camolan Celtic 3-0. Newross beat Fort Celtic 2-1. I was looking at a bit of that. Really good game. Two good teams. Newross very impressive. Fort Celtic as well. Two well organised teams and a really tough battle of a game. Really well refereed actually as well. To be fair, you have to give Pat's in it was reffing it, so
Pat's
give credit where it's due. Yeah, Youths Division 1, Barntown beat Wexford Celtic 3-0. Rosslare Strand beat Kilmore 4-3. You always find this in these youths divisions. These middle divisions, we kind of do them, I suppose. Locally, we kind of as a league, we put our strongest teams in the Premier Division, and our B teams in the lowest, and then kind of Division 1, 2, 3 and 4 are kind of local. So you have a local derby every week if you're playing youth football, you know. Division 2, Campoil beat New Ross Celtic 5-2. Cork Ramblers are beaten 3-1 by Cushinstown. Courtown Hibs in Division 3 beat St Cormac's 3-2. Ferns United beating Corey Celtic 4-2, and Tom Brack and Castle Dockrell played a 3-3 draw. So that looks set to be a right division.
Yeah, it looks close.
Yeah. Division 4 then, you have St Joseph's with a 1-0 win over Bree. Enniscorthy Town with a 4-1 win over Curraclough United. It's good to see Enniscorthy Town with a youth team back. It's actually good to see so many teams from Enniscorthy in the youths this year. Oilgate and in and around it, because I think there was only Shamrock Rovers last year, wasn't there? So there's Ajax and there's Enniscorthy Town with youth teams this year as well, and plenty of the surrounding areas. And then Killena with a 4-2 win over Oilgate. And Division 5 in the youths, North End beating Fort Celtic 7-2. That's both second teams, Ajax and Killena. Ajax losing out 6-2 there.
Hey, so that's a full rundown on it.
That's the lot, yeah.
Right, we have our first question in.
Right.
It's from Ronan. I didn't get his surname there off of the boys.
Sorry.
So it's from Ronan, and it's probably a question that you can't answer. So I suppose I'll have to answer because it'll be unfair.
It, yeah.
He wants to know, where do we think Rosslare Strand will finish this year?
I leave that to you, Nicky.
I thought you would.
Well, look, they are defending Billy Brown Cup champions, you know, so...
Well, look at it, to be honest with you, they had a great, shall I say, start to the season last year when they came, not to the start, but when they came back into the league.
Sure, they had a good first year back.
They could have only dreamed of winning a league, and didn't get. I think
it was their first cup. So, no, they finished mid-table.
Yeah. So
I think it was their first cup win in. I could be wrong now. I'm thinking 40 years or something like so. I know they celebrated it well anyway. So,
jeez, they definitely enjoyed it. I was very impressed with them the day they played in the Gwyn Jones Cup.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I didn't
see
the Billy Brown. I didn't see much of their season. So and I'll be honest, I've been very impressed. Talking to Eddie Chevalier. Yeah. Anytime I've spoken to Eddie, he always seems to be on the ball.
He is. Yeah.
Like, I'd obviously know Danny O'Reilly quite well, and look at if you have somebody who's going to hit 30 goals in a season,
I think he hit 40.
yeah, well, we won't give him all of them. So he get a big head. But if you have somebody who can hit that amount of goals,
He played for you before, didn't
yeah,
he?
he did. Yeah, I know Danny's one of the good ones.
He's a goal scorer anyway.
Yeah. But look, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be touching promotion and
look,
trying to build on it. So
the Billy Byrne Cup is for Division 3A and Division 4, and they won that, you know, so I'm sure they have their eyes on going for the league, you know. I'm sure there's plenty of other teams there will have their own say as well. But
yeah, definitely. But look at it from the outside looking in, they look like they're going the right way. So
yeah, they seem to be doing everything right as a club, just really organised and dealing with Eddie over the summer and stuff. And he's really on the ball, that guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They've a youth team this year as well, you know. They had all their coaches kind of set up on the system, you know, everything in place. Like they're going really, really well, to be fair.
So yeah, we're getting more questions in, Padraig.
Okay, getting nervous now.
Well, yeah, Joe
Doyle, is it?
Yeah, there's a load of comments coming in, a load of stuff coming in.
Okay.
So there's one lad, Rory, he thinks it's not a good idea for Division 5.
Okay.
So we should look at...
Look, we'll note it and we'll... you know, we've committed to it for this season. We're going to trial it. We'll review it. We'll see, you know.
So, well, that's not really a question.
No.
So that's just a comment.
Yeah.
But thanks, Rory, for commenting. Yeah, sure. Look at hopefully Rosslare will do quite well, and sure we'll see where we go. And if anybody has anything, any more questions, like look, we'll see, can we
fire them on there, yeah.
Answer.
Yeah. So will we have a look at this weekend's fixtures? You can talk us through your predictions there anyway. Or?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Sure. Look at.
I'll go through.
We'll touch up on the top couple of divisions. Like
like
so,
not all
like
of them,
actually, before we do that, Padraig, yourself we're talking over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What did we say? We agreed on that we might look to try and get some managers in to meet with us.
Yeah, we're looking maybe to have discussions with clubs about their thoughts and feelings on the best way to run our leagues. Get some I suppose fact finding information. See how they feel things are going. Can we look at running things slightly differently or anything like that? Or really is what we kind of said we do as a league committee now, not just me and you, but like bring clubs in, get their thoughts, get their feelings, you know, conduct some research and see about, you know, what we all feel is the best way to run the league, you know, because look, we do have a great league and everything like that, but
yeah, look,
you always need to be reviewing and looking at it and seeing, do you know what I mean, a think tank, I think.
And look, I don't see any harm in it. At the end of the day, speaking to the managers and the players, the managers, lads who have to try and get teams to turn out 2-3 evenings a week, turn up of a Sunday. So if they have problems or solutions to problems that we can maybe try and help them out with as a league, obviously it'll all have to be brought back to a league body and everything has to be discussed and formulated. But I don't mind trying to sit in and help and try and have a chat with these guys
over the course of the season. You know, get their general feelings and chart it over the course of the season, because you know how it is. A lot of the time when the season's over, it's forgotten about. You know, you're on a break then, and then when it comes back, that seems to be when we're getting kind of word from clubs. Maybe we should look at doing something slightly differently. So, you know, let's keep the conversation open. All right.
I didn't ask the question, Padraig. Rory Murphy, the Cora manager, did. So, Joe Doyle. So,
Joe, I never doubted you. I knew it was Rory. Yeah.
I thought Joe was to be on holidays anyway. So you enjoy your holidays, Joe.
No, Joe was on the ball. Yeah. So look at we want to kind of have a chat with clubs and
we'll go right down through the divisions,
get their feedback
over a few weeks.
Talk to all clubs, get all their findings. We already have one for Division 5. We'll get more, get more as we go on. So. And let's just try and have a think about the best way to run our league and stuff like that. So yeah, that's something we'll look at doing. Yeah, absolutely, and just interact with clubs a bit, I suppose, over the course of the season. So
perfect.
Yeah. So I have the fixtures here for you, Nicky. Now you can can give us your opinion, right? So, coming up this weekend in the Premier Division, we have a full fixture list this weekend in the Premier Division. So we have Bunclody versus North End. How do you feel that one's going to go?
I'd probably go to that one.
Should be a good game.
Yeah, I think I'll head up to that one. Look, I can only see one winner in North End. Bunclody, they were off last weekend, so it'll be interesting to see. They probably would have liked a game under the belt before they play North End to iron out a few bits and pieces. But look, it'll be a tough ask for Bunclody. But I think North End should.
Okay, Gorey Rangers, Mine Rangers, Gorey at home.
Gorey should come out easy winners on that, I think.
Okay, we Wexford.
It's been a tough year for John. Like a lot of players leaving, couple retired, couple of other lads tied up with other things. Like Pao Shea is going to be a massive loss to him. Sean Miller, that's a centre half pairing gone. You know, I think Pat Oyle in the goal may have retired. So like they're massive losses to him. So I think the first couple of weeks could be a really, really struggle for the Mine. And then you know yourself, once you start struggling to start, it's very, very hard to get any momentum or get up and going. So
there's lots of good players around the Mine though too. So
no, there is a lot. But I think Gorey will be too strong this week. It's probably not a bad game for Gorey to come back into, because there's always been a bit of a niggle between the Mine and Gorey for a number of years, so it could be a bit of a feisty game, and it'll be a right one to get the Gorey blood going.
Yeah, we've Wexford Bows against Fort Celtic.
Fort Celtic.
Okay, New Ross Celtic, Cross a Beg. An interesting one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. It's early in the season, but that could be a 6-pointer. You know, either way, I think. It's a big game for Ross Celtic. Yeah, it's probably bigger for us Celtic than Cross a Beg at the minute, because they'll when you come up from the Premier,
it's a big occasion too. It's the first. I mean, I don't know if people are aware, but until Ross Celtic were relegated from the Premier Division 6-7 years ago, they were only ever in the Premier Division.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They have, I think, only North End have won more titles than them, and it's marginal enough. Like, they have a great history.
Yep.
It's their first game back in the Premier, and they're always a well-supported club.
Yeah. No, look,
so I'm sure there'll be a big crowd at it. You know,
a massive game. When you come back up, if you go 3 or 4 games, it can hit your confidence a bit. So the confidence, they'll need to get a couple of points. I Cross a Beg are probably going to be missing a couple of the lads. So I think it's a big game, and I think it could be a draw.
And Cross a Beg are going into their 3rd straight season in the Premier Division. You know,
fair play to Joe.
The whole club, they're doing good work there.
They are. They're doing
serious over
Joe
35
and
team.
the players. Yeah, they drafted you in. So
they were stuck.
I seen you actually. I think you actually sent me a clip of a goal you scored from.
Yeah.
You were going that slow. It looked like you were in reverse.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. It's the over 35s league. Great league, thanks Joe and the lads. Right,
Yeah,
so we have Ferns United and Shamrock Rovers. Then of course is the last one. So another big game.
Big
early
game
in
for
season,
both
but
clubs.
Look, they all are.
Yeah, no, the big game for both of them. And it's quite similar to what I was saying about Ross. Shamrock Rovers probably need to get a win and get going. Ferns started off against North End, so they'll be looking at Shamrock Rovers as trying to pick up a couple of points. So yeah, big game.
Yeah. Division 1, North End versus Glenbarrentown. North End second team. Rathnure be their first game in Division 1 against Cortown Hibs. Kilmore, Cork, Ramblers be pretty much a local derby. Big first game in Division 1 for Kilmore, and Cork Ramblers, of course, narrowly missing out last season. That's going to be a big one for both clubs.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, look, John down in his second year. Look at it. I was talking to him the weekend. He's delighted with everything down there. He got in a couple of players, I think, this year as well. So, look at it. It's a really, really big game. Who'd you say they were playing again?
For Kilmore.
Oh, Kilmore, yeah. And sure, look at Kilmore under new management with Mick Bennett.
Yeah.
Dave
he was involved, I think, he was involved the end of last year. Yeah,
so,
but they're a club on the up as well, and they're a young team and a lot of good players in there too. So, an interesting game now, you know. And I think they signed striker lately from All Blacks.
Yeah, Shane Cassidy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shane will be. He should score goals for them, and they're they're a decent side, Kilmore. So I'm expecting that to be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at John will definitely want to get promoted.
Yeah.
This year.
And then we have St. Joseph's at home to Gorey Rangers. Be an interesting one to see how Gorey Rangers' second team go now this season.
Yeah. Look at it.
Another team. It was a tight race for that league last year. I mean, 4 teams could have won Division 1. Gorey Rangers seemed to be in pole position. New Ross won it in the end, and Joseph's have come up and they've got a win in their first game, and it'll tell a lot, and it'd be probably know each other well enough, Joseph's and Gorey fellas, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would, yeah. Sure, Gorey, Kilmuckridge, it wouldn't be a big distance. Them lads would probably head into Gorey for a couple of pints and things like that. So, I look at Gorey is such a stranglehold on football up in north of the county. They're going to be very, very strong in that division.
Yeah.
And while I was slightly impressed when I say, well, it would slightly be the word I'm looking for. They were decent. St. Joseph's were last week against Ajax. I think they'll need to improve maybe against Gorey to pick up something, especially going up there.
Yeah. It's a big game for them, and their first home game as well. Campoyle United versus Ajax. That's going to be an interesting one as well. 2 teams are in the Premier Division last year, Division 1.
So look at after 2 defeats last week, both of them will definitely need to pick up 3 points. So if whichever of the teams loses, unless it's a draw, they're going to be under serious pressure.
Yeah. And the ones you didn't pick up on, sorry, I kind of rushed around there. North End and Barntown. First game of the season for Barntown. North End with a win last week.
Joe just sending in a comment saying thanks, Tenerife couldn't miss the show. So yeah, we're
he has to be the number one fan.
Oh, in all sport in Wexford, in fairness.
Yeah. In fairness, he gets around.
So we have a comment coming in there from Kyle. So I don't think Kyle. I'll let you go onto the Facebook page and read it yourself. Kyle's not too happy that the Premier started off last week. So
with 2 games, yeah.
Yeah. So
look, unfortunately there was 3 scheduled. I suppose 1 was called off because of a bereavement. Yeah, so there was that, and look at it. A lot of teams took a free day.
So they're
entitled to take them. So what do you do with them? They choose when. So.
Look at North End, Glyn. That's a bit of a derby game too, isn't it? There's a few players would have crossed paths over the last couple of years, and a few North Ends underage, I think, would have headed out and things like that. So look at Glyn.
Interesting to see with Glyn. Like they're a young team. You know what I mean? Sean Cooney is probably like a bright talent in Wexford football. You know what I mean? He scored a lot of goals last year in Division 1, and there's a lot of good players around Glenbarntown, you know, and in North End. And North End's second team has quite a mix of a couple of experienced players, but a lot of young players as well. So I'm sure it'll be a very good game anyway, you know. And then we've Rathnure United at home to Courtown Hibs. How do you think that one's going to go?
Courtown, to be honest with you. Rathnure are getting caught with lads hurling with Rathnure. They're absolutely flying at the minute. So I think Courtown will be too strong, and I do think it's a big year for Courtown. I think if they don't get up this year, they might be stuck down in Division 1 for a couple of years. Couple of lads like your Matty Kavanaghs, you've Des Woolan, you have Michael Kinsella. They're all knocking 30 and Michael's knocking nearly 40. So these lads have been around a long time. So they're quite young. So some of the other lads are. So they'll want to be getting back up in that Premier as quick as they can.
They'll be looking to get themselves a few points. But look, it was a 1-0 to North End in injury time last week.
Yep.
We don't have reports of the game. I'm sure it was a good game. Two good teams. 2 teams probably could have a big say in how that league goes and be in the mix for it too. And all of those games, as we've said, Division 1 is just such a mad division. And look, I know I work with John Fanning. I know he's big hopes for Cork this season, and the lads in Kilmore are just excited to see how they get on there too. So it'll be a good game.
Yes, Kilmore seem to be progressive. Mick is definitely trying to progress in the right
he is,
way.
But the whole club, there's a lot of people behind the scenes there.
There's a lot.
Toddy Roach and those guys, and Junior Furlong and all of those guys, and his son is involved now. Like, they're really, really good, and they're doing really well the last couple of years. So fair play to them. In Division 2, then we've Tom Brack at home to Ballymurn.
Big game, big test for Ballymurn. Tom Brack are one of these no nonsense A to B to do the job.
Yeah.
Very organised. Don't concede a whole lot. Don't score a whole lot. But you know you're going to be in a tough game. I like Tom Brack, and
two teams that could be in with a chance of winning.
Yeah,
it, you know?
so it's a big game for both of them so early in the season. You know.
Then we'll move on to the next one. We've Curracloe at home to Enniscorthy United.
I think Enniscorthy United will win it. Even though I was surprised with how much football Enniscorthy United played the other day. Like, I know Mick Butler was in the goal, but they'll have Gary Murphy back. John Whelan has been around for years, was playing centre half. John was playing really well. Shawnee O'Shea. They had a McGannon chap in the centre midfield who was really good on the ball. He hit the crossbar with a free kick. And did a young chap, he's actually Pepsi McGannon's nephew. He was dropping into the 10 and he was really, really good player. I can't think of his name.
You're impressed with him anyway.
I actually thought, in fairness to Bill Wrigley, had him playing quite well. So, I think United may surprise one or two this year. That's just going on Fort Celtic, because I would have tipped Fort Celtic last week to have won that.
Yeah.
So,
look at Enniscorthy United. They're there, but I think they were in Division 1 maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Slipped down
so
a bit.
they obviously have plenty of good players, and I think they had a player came on and scored a winner last week. Did you see that? He's quite a good player, isn't he? Dara
Roach, yes. Yeah. Dara Roach after signing from the mine. And there's another young chap, a lovely little player, Dara Breen.
Yeah.
Left back, right back. He could be anywhere.
Yeah. And then we have the Camolan at home to Clabon. Two teams looking to get their first win of the season, I suppose.
Camolan and who, sorry?
Camolan at home to Clabon. Sorry, we have questions coming in, Nikki.
So
you're not in multitasking, not sure.
Yeah, no, multitasking wouldn't be. I'm just straight down the line.
Yeah.
See, you've been a teacher, you're able to do all these things. So you're normally sorting fixtures when you're meant to be teaching maths.
Clabon was the one who was. Go back to it there. No, not a maths teacher.
English. I won't
pretend to be English.
Camolan, Clabon. Look, it's a big game for both of them. From what I hear, I think Clabon might struggle a little bit this year.
They're both looking for the first win.
Yeah, so it'll be. Look, from what I hear, I haven't seen much of either of them, but I hear the two of them could be struggling a bit this year.
Okay.
After losing a few players, so look, it's a big game for both of them. 3 points Sunday could kickstart one of their seasons. Players can be kind of fickle that way, that like them mightn't play, and then they'll see if the lads pick up a win or two. They'll say, sure, I'll jump back in, I'll play. Where if you lose a game or two, they might not come back as quick. So that's it. So
two great clubs as well.
That's it.
Stuff. Wexford Bows, Fort Celtic, both second teams on straight after both first teams play each other. How have you been involved in a few of them with Rovers over the years? Where the two A teams play, then the two B teams play. We
were involved in a couple of them. Yeah.
How do you see that going?
Yeah, look, as a manager, on the likes of them days, like, you're only concentrating on your own squad. Now you might get a B team manager coming down and asking you, can I take 2 or 3 of your subs in around the 70 or 80 minute, but he's told to F off and go back up the line after our game. But he's only trying to do his job for his team. So look at how that game might go. I think Forza, though, all depends on the team that Bows had out last week.
Bows in a big win the first day.
If they had I think it'd be a good game. It'd be some good football, and it could go either way. That one could. Yeah,
be interesting anyway. And I think like the good thing about those kind of when you have an A team playing a B team, or A team, 2 A teams followed by 2 B teams, subs that don't get a run in the A team, maybe they can go and play with the B team and things like that.
Makes a long day for them.
It does, but at the end of the day, it's about giving people football games, isn't it? So it's part of it. Now you have Rosslare Rangers at home to Bridge Rovers as well, which is a big game, I suppose, in Division 2 to be. Bridge Rovers won 3-0 last week, and Rosslare Rangers with a new manager and having narrowly just come down, came out the wrong side of it and narrowly in points. And
look, there's probably pressure on Rosslare Rangers because Denny Carty's manager. Do you know, like Denny is one of the best coaches throughout the county. He managed the Premier Champions for I think 16 games last year. Do you know, 16 league games plus
And look,
cup
he
competitions.
has years and years
So
of experience.
he has
a lot of good players have worked with Denny over the years.
He'll bring that down to him. So so that'll just bring added pressure. So it will, and with the added pressure, then can he pass that on to the players? So yeah, look at that. I probably think Bridge Rovers. I seen Rosslare Rangers play. I only seen about 25 minutes of him in a practice match against Shamrock Rovers. So I'm only judging it on last week's result for Bridge Rovers.
Right.
So I just edge for Bridge Rovers.
Okay.
And we just have one question in from
Yeah,
Barry.
I think we
Barry
we'll go to that one, then we do it one.
Wants to know, should North End go all out for the FAI instead of the league this year?
So I leave that to you. You're the
well, look at
manager.
For Jay Murphy said it last week. Your league is your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like you have to be judged on your league. Like I don't mean this in a bad way, but like Wexford Bows nearly got relegated out of Premier, but they're in a Leinster Junior Cup final. So anybody can get to a cup final. That sometimes that can lead to cup runs and a bit of luck and here and there. From knowing North End, knowing the likes of your Kyle Dempsey's, your Shanes, and especially Spot Murphy, they will want to win an FAI to cement.
Yeah.
They'll go down as probably the best team in Wexford ever to play in it.
They'll probably want to win. They'll probably go out to win them all. The same as Gorey, the same as that's usually the teams that are in those situations. That's what they're going for, Can we say happy birthday to Helen Rhodes? I think we can say happy birthday to Helen Rhodes.
Yeah. Can you? Are you allowed to say that now? You won't be biased.
No, I don't think. I think it's fair enough to wish someone a happy birthday. Be worried if he can't. And I think we had a question there just about, is there any more clubs building Astro pitches this year in Wexford? And there's a few. Bunclody. Any idea how that one's coming along?
No, I'll tell you next week because I'll probably go up to Bunclody North End. So I'll have a look over.
Maybe Nick Finn is tuning in there.
And maybe
or
Nick,
Jamie, and they can tune.
The one in Enniscorthy, the Astro was late on that. So I think they're just waiting for goals to come now and getting it signed over to whoever's going to run it. So that should be. Yeah. A pity Aidan is not here tonight. We could have asked him, but
should be soon though, shouldn't it?
Yeah, no, I would think in the next couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah, once the carpet's down and they get the lines down and all of that, it won't take long.
No,
because I see it in our place in Wexford CBS. And look at, I mean,
there's two in anyway.
There's
in the next
two
couple of weeks,
up and running.
Couple of months anyway.
Fort Celtic have one in good progress, and I believe that'll be running before Christmas anyway. I don't want to. I'm overestimating that, if anything, because I think they even could have said like the end of October, November. I can't remember, but I was talking to them down there one day, and it'll be another one, and obviously we have Cork Ramblers.
Yep.
Yeah, we have Wexford CBS up and running as they are, and we've Enniscorthy, and I suppose with the CBS and
I don't know where the one is in Gorey. I know there was one started to be built.
Road, I was told.
So I'm not sure exactly where that is.
I'm not sure where that is or how that's coming along.
I'll have to get on to Sandra. Maybe she's a Gorey woman.
You should probably ask her.
Tell her to drive up when she's up visiting her mother one of the days. See how that is coming along.
But I believe, look, at other clubs are definitely looking into it. I'm well aware of that. I've been speaking to some. I know Glenbarntown are looking at trying to do one. New Ross Town, I believe. A number of clubs. Look at it's a big layout, and it's big commitment, and it takes a lot of work from a lot of people. And look at the one in the CBS; it wouldn't have happened without the efforts of everybody, and especially John Hegarty. And it's been such an asset to our league.
Yeah.
The amount of games that have been played there, even in last season alone, is huge. And if there's a number of them around the county, I think we can really transform our league.
Yeah. No, easily. And the other thing as well, I don't think all clubs need to go to Astros.
No.
You look,
just lights.
I know Gorey Rangers are looking at lights.
Yeah.
And you come down along, you would have the pitch in Ferns is good enough all year round.
The pitch in Ferns,
Scotty, Shamrock Rovers, Ajax.
Yeah.
North End.
That's as a fixture secretary, I need to be aware of which pitches are nearly always playable. Curracloe, Bunclody, Gorey Rangers, North End, Crossabeg. All these pitches are always playable now. There's never any drama. And fair play to them, and maybe they're lucky with the land they have, or to do that kind of work on it. New Ross Celtic, another one. If you can get lights in clubs like that, and they already have everything else in place, You know, if a good grass pitch is as good as an AstroTurf pitch,
Yeah.
and players probably prefer playing on it.
I would
So-
anyway. Well, I'm
more,
a little bit old
bounce
school
in
that
it, you
way.
know. Yeah. So look at whatever we can get and facilitate to move the league forward. We'll go with it, you know.
Yeah,
And like I think nighttime games under lights, there's just a better atmosphere at them, isn't there?
adds to it.
Yeah, definitely get a crowd and all of that as well.
Last question
I
in,
think
was it?
Yeah, we'd want about
Festy?
yeah.
How do we think Festy's move will go to? Well, we're probably neither me or you are qualified to answer that.
Festy. Well, I'll tell you a funny thing about Festy. I saw Festy play in the flesh once. He played against Wexford CBS for Enniscorthy CBS. And I'd say the lads that played for Wexford CBS, and some of them now are really good players. I don't want to name them because like some of them were playing the Premier Division for Ireland and stuff now. I'd say they're still having nightmares. He was absolutely phenomenal. I'd never seen anything like him. What a player.
Yeah.
What a talent. I mean, and that was, like they beat us 3-0 and they won in All-Ireland that year. And I think he didn't really play, he played that game and didn't play much of the rest of the season. Now they had a really good team. There were Kieran Murphy and Aina Doyle and all those guys, Paddy Casey, loads of good players, Lee Jordan, there was lots of them, right? But Festy,
The hairdresser, Lee Jordan.
yeah, but Festy was some player. Oh my god, I never saw anything like him. So
Yeah, I know.
moved to Watford. I think it's great for him because he'd been
Closer to
playing,
home.
closer to home, playing in Italy. I think it's just always we don't know, but like I'd imagine it's just difficult to live in a foreign country if you don't speak the language and stuff like that. And with Watford, I think he's moved from Serie A to the Championship, but I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
I think he just get more exposure there and everything really for us. Like
As for an Irish international
yeah,
and for Wexford.
and hopefully people can get over to games. And there's a lot of Irish people living in London, and hopefully go and support him. I think it's a brilliant move, and his career he's doing really, really well. He's an Irish international, only the second one from Wexford, and fantastic move. Wish him all the best.
I was talking to him during the summer. He was home in Enniscorthy there for a couple of days. And he's a big unit.
Yeah, he is.
Like not overly tall, but he's powerful.
Yeah, but through the years of schools football, I mean, his performance that day is the most standout. He was outstanding that day. I mean, I've rarely seen a performance like it. He was amazing. He was doing rainbow flicks over our lads' heads. He was dancing around him. He scored a couple of goals. He was brilliant. He was really, really good player. So
that's
we
why
wish him
he
all
is
the
where
best.
he is. But he also had the attitude to go with it.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, And look, we see more. We see young Oisin McDonough from Barntown has just moved to Venezia. Caleb Harnett made the Ireland under 19 squad. He's only 17. It's a brilliant, like a really talented player. Caleb too, Oisin McDonough too, and we wish him all the best. And that's at the end of the day, that's what we like to see, isn't it?
100%. Right, so I think that's.
We've plenty more football coming up this weekend. In all of our divisions, a full fixture list, and the under 19 leagues kicking off this season. We went through the format of that one, didn't we? So, just keep an eye on the app, keep an eye on what's going on, and get out to games. There's no shortage of them this weekend, and the following week we'll have the Leinster Junior Cup, Leinster Senior Cup as well, and the week after that then we'll have the FA Junior, and all of those outside competitions will kick off. And look, we just wish everybody all the best this weekend and for the upcoming season. And
definitely, and just to echo what Padraig was saying, that I was up in Ajax and I was up at Enniscorthy United the other day, and there was a massive crowd up at the Enniscorthy United game. So like, just get out and support the lads who are actually playing. It does mean a lot to the lads who are out kicking the ball and enjoying their Sunday afternoon. And there's thousands of lads every weekend getting out there and playing. So just keep building it. And thanks, Padraig, for coming in. And
cheers.
We'll see how it goes.
You'll be hitting back soon. You'll be all good. Right. Thanks for having me.
Somebody, just before we do go, somebody wants to know where is Aidan. It's $1 million question. See you, folks.
Thanks, lads.
Bye.